Okay, so algebraic expression, a mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables. It is different from an equation because an equation has an equal sign. Okay, substitution property, if A is equal to B, then A may be replaced for B in any expression. It can be replaced in any equation as well. Substitution property and transitive are typically jumbled up as far as properties are concerned. Because transitive says if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C, and it kind of looks like substitution. The only difference is that with substitution, it literally is A is equal to B, so I can put A in for B, or I can put B in for A. So it doesn't have that extra property to it. Anytime we have to evaluate expressions or simplify expressions, so it could be simplify as well, you'll have to substitute. And then you will put a parentheses around what you substituted, and then you follow order of operations. So if I do a couple, you put 2 in for A, you put 4 in for B, you're squaring B, and you're adding 7 for C. So then I do my exponent first, which is 16 plus 7. I do my multiplication second, which is 32 plus 7, so I get 39. I'm like, it's pretty straightforward. Plug it in and do some order of operations that you did yesterday. Nobody likes fractions. I know. They're terrible. Part of the reason why I don't like fractions is because it requires a lot of effort sometimes. And then there's a lot more rules. But unfortunately, we live in a world that has fractions and decimals. Actually, I think decimals are worse than fractions, if I'm honest. All the rules of multiplying decimals together by hand or dividing decimals it just makes your head want to hurt. So, we got to do a fraction one. Okay. I know. I don't even know how this one's going to work out. We'll see. So I'm going to plug in negative 12 in for y. So I had a negative on the outside. I have a negative 12, and I'm squaring it. Minus 3 times a negative 5/6. Yeah, that's not going to be pretty. Oh, it's not too bad. And then a negative 12. Could have been a lot worse. So I square my negative 12 first, I get negative 144. And I'm subtracting my 3 times negative 5/6. When I multiply, I put the 3 over 1, and I multiply straight across. So I get negative 15 over 6, which reduces to negative 5 over 2. And I'm multiplying that by negative 12. I'm okay with you recognizing that I could have reduced my 3 and my 6 and gotten 2. That's totally fine. However, some of you guys struggle with just fractions in general. So you can always multiply straight across and then reduce afterwards. I don't care which way you do it. Eventually you'll get better with fractions and then you'll cancel stuff out. But for now, it's okay. Okay, so now I need to do my negative 5 halves times negative 12. My negative 12 is over 1. My 2 negatives make a positive. So I get 5 times 12, which is 60, over 2, which is 30. So I have negative 144. And then I still had the negative sign in front, so minus 30, and I'm adding that together, so I get negative 174. I thought I was going to find a common denominator. That was going to be terrible. I'd like to try to find one. I don't know if there's one in here. Questions that you guys have? Like, what other ones can we do? I'm going to do 2 more. Yeah, I want to do an absolute value one. We'll do 11 for sure. Let's do 9 and 11 maybe. So I have 2 squared minus 2. I have 2 minus a negative 2, because that's my y, minus my z, which is negative 3, bless you, cubed. So I could do my parentheses first. I have 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 2 minus negative 3 cubed. When it comes to showing work, okay, some of you can do some stuff in your head. I need to see some work in order for me to be able to give you credit. I also need to see some work because when you mess up and you take 2 plus 2 and you cannot get 4 for some reason, I want to be able to give you partial credit for it. Okay, but in the end, do I need to show every single one of these steps? Not necessarily. I'm showing them to you because I don't want to lose anybody in the room, right? But there are steps that I probably could have combined together, and it still would have given me the same result. And I'm okay with you combining steps together. Okay. So I have 2 squared minus 2 times 4 minus negative 3 cubed. So I have 4 minus 2 times 4 minus a negative 27. So I did all of my exponents there. Okay. So then I have 4 minus 8 plus 27. So I get negative 4 plus 27, which is 23. Okay. I will tell you that your summer work had fraction practice in there. So if you struggle with fractions, my recommendation would be to go and take a look at those videos for fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, so that you're not completely lost when we get to those types of questions. I still will always go over everything. I always make an assumption you don't know anything when you walk in the door, and I have to teach all of it to you. Okay, so when we get to fractions, I will always do that for you, or if we have decimals, I will do that for you also. I try to avoid decimals though. Okay, so I'm going to plug in A, which is -2. I had a negative on the outside. I have a -2 squared. Minus 2 times B, which is 3, times C, which is -3. And then I had minus the absolute value of C, which is -3. So I have a -2 squared, which is 4. And then minus 2 times 3 times -3. And then minus the absolute value of 3, which is 3. So the only reason why this absolute value here is still negative is because there was a negative on the outside of the absolute value. So I made the 3 positive, and then it had the negative on the outside. So now I have -4 minus 2 times 3, which is 6. Times -3, which is a -18, minus 3. So I have -4 plus 18 minus 3. So 14 minus 3, which is 11. I would like you guys to box your answers or circle your answers or take a highlighter to your answers. Any one way is totally fine as long as I can also see your solutions. Okay. Questions that you guys have as you guys are working on your assignment. At any point, if you have questions, you just have to get up and raise your hand. Get up, walk up to my desk, raise your hand. I'll come to you too. But please, if you have any questions, ask me. Okay? Because I don't want you guys to be lost on day 8